Hey guys, here's Louis, and this is gonna be a real quick video. Let me explain something to you guys really quick. So I am making a leaf spring, how to restore your leaf spring video. It's kind of a long video, but I'm getting it worked out. I'm still waiting for parts, so I'm still not done. But in the beginning of this video, I mentioned that I won't make a rear tail panel installation video. But due to the fact that's taking too long, I am going to make the video. So in the beginning of the leaf spring video, ignore that. Yes, I am making this video right now. So it's going to be real quick. So this is a tail panel for the 68 Firebird, the Lovebird. And it's the same thing for 1967 Firebird. Okay, so all you guys out there that are building your 67 birds, this applied to you also. Now, I also put the spring on the car just yesterday. It was my first time putting the tension springs on a bird, because every time I bought one, as bad as the car was, the tension springs was on it, and I did not mess around with it. So it's really cool. I'll explain that really quick for you guys. But check this out. I mean, she works so nice. So I'm taking off the tape and look at how she just springs right up. Okay. So the tension springs, there's a long side of the spring, and I'm pertaining to this side, right? That looks like a hook is a long side. When you're going across and you're going to go to this side, there's going to be a shorter side. That shorter side goes in through right here, okay? And there's a notch cut out. That's where you put your rod, and I'll go through here facing this way. Okay, you want to put this side first. So the one that is shorter, the hook that is shorter goes on first. And I did the top one first, okay? Then when you go across, all right, and the longer side of the hook, you want to mount it first on top, and with a pair of vice grips, okay, pair of vice grips, you're going to clamp just the tip of it, okay? You only need a little bit, like, I don't know if you can see from here down. And when you hook this first, there's going to be a lot of tension there, but you pry it down, and then you pick which tension you want. Like, if you put it all the way as close to the top, it's going to be less tension. As you get to the middle, more. And when you get here, it's like the max tension. That's why she springs up so nice like that. And I like it springing up like that. You want to have it up and strong for a car show to show your trunk. That's good. And also when you put the key into the cylinder to open the deck lid, she just springs right up. And I like them to open nice and strong. Then vice versa. The next spring, because there's two springs, you're going to put it here. Okay, through the bracket, through the hinge, the small hook facing this way, facing to the rear of your tail panel. Come back, hook it here first, hook it over here first. Same thing, you get your pliers, your vice grips, and you work one step. Don't try to go all the way down. Hook it here first, move it, hook it to the next one, and then hook it to the end like I did. And that's when you get the spring action of your tail panel just springing up with no problem. Oh, you see that? That's pretty strong. Okay. Now, if you want it to be less of a spring action like that, you just probably will put it in the middle, because I think the very first hook, like I show you, the very first hooking point is too weak, but the middle or the last is fine. Okay, and when I open the door, the hook, when I open the deck lid, I mean, I will guide it with my hands. I won't just let it slam like it just did a couple of seconds ago. So that was my first time, and I was successful, and there you go. All right. So now I want to show you guys the rear tail panel. This is an OER tail panel for my white 68 Firebird that I restored. I use the same brand. Okay, so I only could talk about the OER. Anybody else that use the AMD or anything else, you could leave a comment and tell me your experience with it, but this is my experience with the OER. So the OER brings this hole cut out already for you, drilled out, but it doesn't bring the second one. Okay, then it brings the third one. And if there is a little metal sticking out here, because they all don't measure like smoothly, you always have like a little metal to take off. What I do is I use a curb bit, and I just cut the excess to have a clean hole shooting through. All right, so this hole right here, the second one going towards the passenger side, is cut out on the trunk floor inside, but it's not cut out on the tail panel. So what I do is I go by how this one that they drill out for you looks. Then I go to the second one, so it's the closest one to this one going towards the passenger side, because you have another one that doesn't get drilled out. And I drill it and I go all the way through. And what I use is a step bit. So you're gonna have to drill that hole because it's not drilled for you. And I go for a step bit, and I like to mark it with some black tape to know where to stop. And right there, if this could focus, is on the half point, okay? On the half point. So right there you go, and she'll stop right there at the half point like you see, and you shouldn't have a problem. And this is what I'm talking about. So this is the trunk floor. See? It's already cut out for you, and yes, the hole is pronounced because the tail panel came like that. But this one did not come like that, and I had to drill it out. All right, there you go, and it's nice and clean and drilled out. So that's the stuff you guys got to look for. All right, now I tried my best. It's actually the first time I tried this out, and I like it. So I went back outside where I have the original tail panel with the trunk floor still attached to each other. I don't get rid of that stuff until the car is done. And I copy the plug weld pattern that it had, and believe me, it still had a couple of more plug welds than what you see here, but this is more than enough. So I did my self tappers there, and it's following the pattern of the original pattern that's outside on the rear tail panel. And the reason you see this line here is because I wanted to go and mark this line of the trunk floor, and know that I'm not going to be drilling out here because it makes no sense. I need to drill into the trunk floor. So I know that Louis needs to be drilling from this point down. Okay, and I always like to mark with a marker. This is a silver marker. I always like to just make a dot, 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 dot. And when I come with my self choppers, I just go right on the dot. It guides me. It gives me a little guide to weld them. Okay, so you will have to do this to weld your tail panel to the trunk floor. Okay, this is original also. 1 2 1 2 is it gets plug weld into your inner tail panel. Okay, so you need to have your inner tail panel. You guys go through my videos, and you'll see that I did that on the trunk floor. Okay, so it gets plug weld there, and a whole bunch in the bottom. Okay, right here, right there. It's a whole bunch following at the bottom. All right, then I like the lines following the nice body lines there. This side too, following the body lines. And over here, when you're gonna go to the gutter of the deck of the trunk, you're gonna have space for 2 self tappers. So there goes 2 plug welds. Do me a favor, do yourself a favor also, and put some tape there. You probably will have to put 2 or 3 layers of tape, because when you're gonna screw them in, if you're using the self tappers, it rubs on the metal and it kind of like scratches it up pretty good. So I put the tape there and tape there, and this goes by experience. The more you do them, the more things you come up with. So I have two here. I have two here that I still need to put in. Okay, self tappers. Over here, let me get this tape out of here. Anyway, I have one here, and one here. Okay, so that's three. Same thing over here. Two in here to attach it to the tail panel from the quarter panel and the gutter to the tail panel. And 1, 2, 3. That's more than enough. And that's how they are built. And then you're going to use down here at this edge, and I have 4 on this side. This is going to get plug welded to the quarter panel. Same thing with the other side. And a whole bunch sticking out here, as you guys can see from the other side. Now check this out. That's a bolt with a washer and a nut. This is about a 1/4 inch size bolt, all right? And this is a great tip. Follow me here. You guys see this lip, your trunk floor? So when you put your tail panel, that lip always likes to stick out. So it's sticking out like this way. And you want it to be flush with the tail panel because you need those plug wells to be nice and tight. So believe it or not, I'll see how far it is, and I will not put no self tappers first. I'll drill a hole, okay, 1/4 inch, big enough to stick in that bolt, and I will tighten down the bolt, and it will sandwich the metal together nice and tight. And then I know when I'm going to put the self tappers going through, it's not going to fight me no more because I already made it nice and tight with the bolt. All right. And this will be the last plug well I'll do on the tail panel where the bolt is. I'll do everything else, then the bolt will come out last. All right. And I'm going to throw another pointer here that I did not make a video of this. But if you see your rear bumper mounting bracket that Firebird brought, the first generation, 67 and 68, 69 is a little different. I bought that from Firebird Central, and they only had one hole cut out. I had to drill out the second hole, and I was really upset with it because they pronounce it, they sell it to you online, showing you two holes being drilled and only one. And Camaro had one, and Firebird has two. So I had to do it, but it came out good. And that's it for the tail panel. But keep an eye out for the leaf spring video. I mean, I show how to restore the whole leaf spring from beginning to end. And that's my project for today. Is the axle, clean it out, paint it, go through it a little bit. But I mostly go through it once it's on the car. And yeah, guys, the Lovebird is about to hit the ground again, but on its 4 wheels and more solid than the day she first came out from rolling out from the factory. Believe me, this car is solid now. The last piece of the puzzle for the shell is this tail panel, and if I have time, she'll be burned in today, and I'm done with the shell for now until I could get it with the 4 wheels. And I'll show you guys how to restore your subframe also next, because we're getting ready to install the 350 that's going to go on the car. So the heartbeat is coming up soon with the brains, that being the transmission. So guys, here's Louis at First Generation Garage. Like I always say, keep your hands dirty. I've been at it since 5 o'clock this morning, and I'm going to keep at it. Keep your hands dirty, and your project will move forward. Take care now. Bye-bye.